Hi, welcome to Prosperity Talks. I'm your host, Victoria Jackson, and on this podcast, we dig deeper to reach higher, tap in to see your inner wealth. Today, I'm speaking with Real Ryan. Real Ryan has her own podcast called Real with Ryan, where she talks about all the things that make real people connect with real people and all the things about being authentic, like being real. So, today, we're going to be talking about how to motivate yourself, how to recenter yourself, how to tap into yourself, and how to build your confidence.
I'm excited for
Yeah. So, jumping in here, I wanted to focus this conversation about around motivation and how to uplift the people in our generation because I think a lot of us have gotten so used to kind of doing what's in front of us and like following the footsteps or following the guidelines that we're used to
yeah,
versus kind of becoming more authentic in how we move and view things. And I would like to get your thoughts on like what was it like having the confidence to break a part of the mold to be different? Like what do you think catapulted you into being or separating yourself from the
yeah.
majority?
Whenever you was talking about like things that people usually do because we're used to, I automatically thought about college. Okay,
That's a big
so
one.
it's like now it's so crazy how you can make money doing different things,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to touch on that because it just made me think of. And I'm not going to college right now. I'm doing my certification to do like
Mhm.
become a fitness trainer. So when you thought about that, it just made me think of it. But I feel like what a big catalyst for me was man, it was just self-evaluating myself, realizing that I was more capable of what I
Oh,
didn't
that's
really
big.
know. Yeah, and then realizing what God was putting on my heart, and I was like, I ain't doing that. Hey, that's crazy. I ain't doing that. Then, like when I was self like doing the evaluation, it's like, dang, I'm really seeing how I'm connecting with people. I'm really seeing
Mm.
how I'm motivating people. And it's just so important to me to be your biggest hype man. And so for me to be like a hype
Yeah.
man for other people too, it was like, okay, let me do this. Let me move
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, you bring up such a good point. Being your own hype man. I
Right.
think the core of self-confidence is being able to look at yourself and adding the utmost value to yourself.
That's
Like
big. I didn't
the
even look at it like that.
utmost
Yeah.
value. Like you cannot it's like a balance. You want to be able to devalue things before you start to devalue yourself. Like
Mm.
before you start saying, "Are you the problem?" You want to look at things that maybe are contributing to a pattern that you're in. Um, the self-evaluating helps to figure out exactly what you're contributing to your issues and whether or not it's like really you or you need to get back to sort of the core roots of yourself of
Yeah.
what you're used to or maybe the better parts of yourself getting back to what makes you you
Yeah. And
being more authentic.
with the pattern thing that you said, it made me like think of how uncomfortable that could be to to try something that you're not used to try something that you see other people not doing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that could be so
huge.
uncomfortable. It could be so scary. Like, would I succeed in this?
Huge.
What is this gonna look like for me? What am I gonna get out of this? Who's gonna, you feel me? So
Yeah,
that's definitely a big
yeah,
thing.
that's huge. Like being able to picture yourself there. The
Yeah.
biggest thing for me in my spiritual development, in my business development, and in my relationships was being able to picture myself at the height, at the peak of what that situation
Mm,
could be.
okay.
Like I really threw all my hopes and dreams into one big picture. And then I threw myself in that picture.
Mm,
And I trusted that I could get there and that it's sort of like working backwards. Destination building is what I call it. So I built up the world that I wanted to be in, and then I ordered sort of through God and prayed about things and ordered my steps to get there.
mhm.
But I had to build where I wanted to go first.
Yeah.
And I think that really helps when it comes to adding structure to how you want to grow and develop, because a lot of people don't know where to start, and I totally understand that. um it can be hard to start your spiritual journey, and it can be hard to start your business endeavors and go into new relationships and open up and be free and vulnerable. But everyone has to do it, and it's a hard truth. But the more real you can get with yourself, the more authentic and the more truth that you can bring into your situation and into your reality,
Yeah.
the more peace you'll have. Even if it's not perfect, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's real. It's what it is. You're not hiding. You're being authentic. My Take for example my business. I started a brand, Fortune 44 clothing brand, and our first collection is Trust the Process. It has Trust the Process on the shorts, on the back, and we're really pushing that because it is a process of getting to know yourself, getting to know your hopes and dreams, getting to know where you want to go, what you really have your heart in.
Hmm.
Because what you have in your heart, your feet will kind of lead you there, whether you're
Yeah.
thinking about it or not. And that's God. Like, you
Mhm.
have to allow that to work by finding where you want to go and let Him lead you there because He's supporting you if it's in your heart.
And when you were saying being in uncomfortable situations, like it could be uncomfortable to put yourself in
Yes.
newer relationships and stuff. That's why celebrating your accomplishments,
Yeah.
reflecting back on when you were feeling like this at a point in time. It probably wasn't to this extent, but it was definitely the
It
same
builds your
feeling.
confidence.
Yeah, it does. So it's like if I could do that back then, I could definitely do this now. Now that I got the
Absolutely.
strength
Absolutely.
and the knowledge.
Strain. That's
Yeah.
that's a huge thing. I stopped attributing my strength to things outside of myself very young.
Okay, explain that.
Very young. I was sort of an introvert when I was a kid.
Okay.
So whenever I was a kid, I would learn about so many different things about the world, and then I thought the things that I knew sort of made me better than other people, and so I had an ego
Mm,
problem when I was young.
okay.
And
Okay.
so when I grew out of that and I became more humble through the things that I've gone through, the people I've learned, and the people I've learned from, and the situations I've learned from, the
Mhm.
ego sort of deteriorates the closer you get to like the true meaning of knowledge, of what it means to have knowledge. Like,
Mm.
I just had the wrong perception of what it meant to have like confidence in what I know and my intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to looking at the things that you know, you want to be applying them in a positive way too. Like, you can build a huge ego by saying, "Oh, I know these things," but then not really acting on them, or kind of sitting with them in a weird way where you think because you know them, you don't have to do anything about you knowing them. Like, you do have to, if you have a plan to start a business, or if you have a plan to get in a relationship, or if you have a plan to do better in life, to put action behind it and not really just like sit with the fact that you know things.
Yeah.
Cuz you can know things, but you also got to do things. And that helps build your confidence and seeing that you can put what you know to action. Like, you're really affirming the fact that you're capable of not only acquiring knowledge, but becoming and rising to the person that holds the knowledge, like
Mm,
rising up to what you know.
I like
And
that.
the deeper you go, almost feels like it can feel like a spiraling, because you get in those moods where you're just like, I want to learn so much about myself and
Uh-huh.
things, and I want
Yeah.
to really dig deep, and that's a beautiful thing. Dig deep to reach high. That's what I like to say. But you want to be able to really picture the highest. You don't want to sit in sort of a cocoon phase. Like, build your confidence by going out. Like you said, you saw yourself with meeting people and growing your confidence through like networking and connecting with people and
Mhm.
connecting with the world. And when you praise yourself for that, you build yourself up step by step,
Mhm.
brick by brick, with the right heart. It's
Mhm.
authentic, it's genuine, it's you're doing it with integrity. You're not
Right.
doing it to say no one else can do it. You're helping others just by being real, just by being authentic.
And then that'll also come back to you too, because you're teaching people how to love you too. If you're
Absolutely.
learning, if you're loving yourself.
Absolutely. And there's different ways to, whenever you're feeling out of control or like trying to make use of the knowledge, because I know a lot of times I have ideas, I have lists, I have everything under the sun written down, and like it's just all just written down.
Mm.
So you can lose a lot of confidence by not seeing the results of what you have in your head. Like, I was losing a lot of confidence not having acted on all of the creative projects that I'd had growing up and even now.
But where did that come from though? Was it because whenever you thought about it, it was like a guilty feeling, like, dang, I should, like a regretting feeling,
It
dang, I
was
didn't
kind
do
of like
that? Or
shame,
oh, okay. Okay.
like
Yeah, I
guilt and
understand that.
shame, like, ugh, like everyone else has started so
Okay.
young, and like I have all this talent and I know I can do these things, where it becomes like you're kind of beating on yourself just for not having that first step, you
Mhm.
know? And we don't really want to get in that habit of doing that
Yeah.
to ourselves or to other people, is like getting on them for what they don't have or don't do or haven't done. You want to be forgiving and you want to have grace about things. And um some ways that I started building my confidence young um was reading. I read a lot as
Mhm.
a kid, and it wasn't more so that I was reading. It was more so that I could read whatever I wanted. Like, it was like the fact that I knew how to read, I could just go and find out anything. I started writing books. I If anyone knows about this app, um it's so old school, but it's this writing app that was so popular when I was in middle school. It was called Wattpad, I
I knew
think.
you was gonna say
I used to
that.
write books on there almost every
Wow.
freaking, like, every chance I could get. I would write a
Mhm.
book, and some of them were really popular, like, really popular,
That's
and
good.
I lost that, I wouldn't say I lost it, but I kinda strayed away from the writing side of things when I started growing up, because I didn't build enough confidence in that future,
Mhm.
like I like to call it destination building. I didn't have a destination when it came to writing, like
Mhm.
how far I wanted to take it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the steps. I wasn't able to work backwards because I didn't picture it yet.
Mm.
And there's ways to picture like a brighter future for yourself, and ways to get there, and ways to um world build, I think, destination build. Um, One way I would say is not only like here. One way to do it, I would say start with something small. Like, there's different questions on Google. I started asking myself questions like shadow work, I think it's called, like
Mhm.
shadow work questions. And that started around like high school, where I started asking myself like those deep questions, like, do I want to go to college? Like you mentioned college. And those are some decisions I had to make too. I also didn't really like go to the traditional route of college, like, and that's something that honestly more people go through than I thought, because I had so much like hesitation and
Mhm.
fear and like stress around that, even though it was just a non-traditional route.
Yeah.
And like it's okay to not really do what everyone else is doing.
I feel like it's real important to ask why to a whole bunch of
Why?
decisions.
Yeah.
Um, like, so with the college thing, it's like, okay, why do I feel like I don't want to go to college? Why why does everyone feel like, well, most people think they have to go to college. Okay, do I agree with that? it's just really important to ask yourself those questions to narrow down what's best for you. And it'll really help. And you'll be confident in making decisions once you see how those play out with the decisions you did make.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. And writing all these down, write down your ideas, write down where you want to go, write down what's stopping you. And I think another thing was I figured out how to find out what was stopping me. Like
Mm.
I had to really figure out what the hell was keeping me from moving forward.
Yeah.
Like it became like this big thing in my life where I was like, I have all these dreams and hopes and they're just not here. Why?
Okay.
Why? And that was the biggest why for me.
Uh-huh.
Why? If I have all the skills, I do marketing and branding and I help other people and their companies grow. Where's my brand? Where's my company? You
Mhm.
know, it became more like, let's recenter this and refocus this back to how I can grow and fill up my own cup so that I can help other people. I shouldn't be filling up their cup and then helping myself with what's left over.
Yeah.
That's very unhealthy to do. So, ways that I like to recenter myself whenever I'm like really like all over the place when it comes to grounding my ideas into reality and making my ideas and things going on in my brain come down here on earth
Mhm.
because I'm really in the sky like all the time. Um just all the time. I like to have routines. Routines are, I think, the key to really grounding yourself and having stability.
That's what I was
Like
just
you
thinking of.
like a skincare routine, self-care routine, a Sunday routine, like something to where you can get up and know exactly what you're doing and that it's benefiting you.
Mhm.
Like I know when I wake up and I wash my face, take a shower, make my bed, tidy up, walk my dogs, bike, that I'm benefiting myself.
Yeah.
Having a morning routine that really boosts that serotonin and gets you like going for a day, um, that's a really good habit to get into. Is like structuring your day.
Mhm.
I would structure your day as much as possible.
And that's that's working on being intentional too. Being
Yeah,
intentional is
setting
so
your
important.
intentions for your day.
Yeah.
That's really strong. Do you think like there's different ways you could set your intentions throughout the day?
Yeah, I feel like there is. Um, like say your attention is to say you running a marathon today. Your intention is to stay hyped, stay
Yeah.
conditioned. So you're gonna constantly do things to prepare
Yeah.
for that. But if your intentions is to just, hey, I'm just trying to chill, I'm trying to have a good day, you're gonna act a little different. So you're gonna figure out what
Yeah.
works for you.
That's so
Yeah,
valid because
yeah,
I did do sports in high school. 4 years I did track, basketball, and all the sorts. But
yeah.
um, I went the longest distance with track and cross country,
Mhm.
and that's so true. Like the moment that I was like, I'm good at this,
Right.
and I'm gonna intentionally like get better and be the best at
Yeah,
this.
and so with that, you might start your day off. You had like practice or like a game or something. You gonna start your day off listening to hype music. Like you're gonna
Yes,
be in the mirror and
it
stuff like
starts
that. But
so early.
if you're trying to like say with the podcast that we were doing today, you might be sitting down, chilling, thinking about what we're gonna talk about, envisioning. It's all intentional. You gotta
Yeah,
just know what works for you.
definitely.
Yeah.
Like this is my first like go at it. I'm really getting used to things,
Uh
but
huh.
I'm very intentional about growing through this whole process. Like
Right.
even if this isn't perfect, I love exactly like how I got here, the opportunity I
Yeah.
got. I'm still grateful for everything. And being intentional goes beyond like what it looks like your end result. Like you can set
Hmm.
your intention for an end result, but really be focused more on the emotion you want to feel. Do you want to feel satisfied or successful afterwards? And if you don't reach your end goal, what else did you get out of it? Like you don't want to sort of like sweep the rug
Yeah.
out from under your feet because you were a little harsh on
Right.
yourself.
And I feel like that'll be so much easier
Yeah,
to
there's
reach
healthier
somebody. Yeah,
ways.
very, yeah, healthy is the word. Yeah.
And so I might put people on game at this very moment.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Um, Another way that I really unlocked like that deeper just knowing about my confidence and what I was capable of enough to put my feet towards it
Mhm.
was subliminals. Like these are hour long, 2 hour, even 8 hour long videos
Really?
on YouTube. And I say these are like so useful because a lot of people use them to like learn languages and like um money manifestation subliminals too. But what really worked for me starting out was Bible verses subliminals. So when I would go to sleep, the Bible audiobook almost would be playing as I slept.
Hmm.
And it would have like rain noises and water noises. And so when I'd wake up, when you're asleep, like you absorb a lot of things. So whenever I woke up, I would almost every time I did that, wake up with such like a calm feeling,
Mm.
calm, chill, ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's because when you're dreaming and when you're sleeping, you have something going in like subconsciously to kind of rework all of the gooey, gunky mess throughout your day that you picked up.
I like that. I'm gonna try
Like
that.
it's really life changing for me. Um, People use it to learn languages too. Like I haven't really tapped into that, but I see how that's possible.
Yeah.
Like you're really just adding things like subconsciously. You're like, I didn't even know I knew that. But it's
Mm.
because you got so deep. Like you're wanting to put it so deep into your brain to where you can't forget it. And so I loved it with the Bible verses,
Man, if
but
you were
there's different.
doing that along with like how
Mhm,
you're doing throughout the day,
mhm.
that's big.
It's really
Yeah.
big. It's huge. So putting you guys on something, like go check it out. There's something for everybody. Like they have like just affirmation subliminals. Like they
Mhm.
literally have people speaking out affirmations. Like I had a job at this crab place. And I remember because I wanted to make tips, I had an affirmation saying I'm worthy of like making money playing in my like headphones as I would go out. And it would help me literally connect to people because I'm like more bubbly, more energetic. Subconsciously, I'm more open to receiving money. And I got more tips. I made a lot of tips
Yeah.
because I was just like in a good mood subconsciously. Like
Mhm.
nothing could throw me off because even if there was a situation, I had something in my ear saying like money, money. I was just like, right, okay, let me
Let me do
refocus. Let me
that.
refocus. Like it's really like a really good tool I think we could use.
So is that what helps you like get on your business stuff too?
Yeah, I like to
Mm.
really affirm myself, not only consciously but
Got
subconsciously.
you.
So like it's really nothing can stop me from doing what I want because subconsciously I'm gonna do what I want
Yeah.
and consciously I'm gonna do what I
That's
want.
real cool though.
So it's really, really, really strong tool for you guys. And I thank you guys for being patient with all of this, like first go at it and for supporting everything that I do. Prosperity Talks, dig deep, reach high, unlock that inner wealth. Supporting the brand Fortune 44. Check out the website www.fortune44.com and really tap into that deeper knowing, that subconscious and conscious confidence. And I thank you for being on here for
For
with me listening
sure.
and also sharing like about growth and everything.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
such a blessing. Such a blessing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in and see you in the next one.